Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Monday, 8:45 a.m., January 13th, and prices of BTC currently at 8,084. Yesterday, we started a new weekly candle, and the CME futures opened again. So what we see right now, folks, is by far, some of the most choppiest market that I have seen in a little while for BTC. The fact that we're having, stop moves like this to generate some liquidity, like Darth Maul candles, where it goes up, stops out all these shorts, and then goes down really fast, stops out all the longs, long stops from here, and even here. So the fact that this kind of movement is happening, and then, you can see over here, it touches key resistance, comes back down, gets shoved down, and then goes back up again, stops out these same people right here, okay? And then gets pushed down again. So the fact that this choppiness is happening leads me to believe that there are some big moves coming up in the market. And this is essentially how you weed out most people, because they are speculating on which way the market is ultimately going to break out, okay? And when people start speculating on the the bigger time frames, by looking at simply the smaller time frames and trying to trade it, what really happens is, these kinds of big moves to both directions, that really destroys them and takes out their stops, which basically gives up money for the professionals and the algorithms which are trained to take your asset off you and basically hit the stops, because that generates liquidity, right? So what we see right now on the 30-minute time frame is this key trend line right here. We broke above it yesterday as soon as the new weekly open and the CME futures open, but then quickly got shoved back down under it, right? Because there's also a small little gap in the CME open right there, okay? It opened with a gap up and then boom, came back down, covered that gap in less than 3 or 4 hours, okay? So what we're seeing right now, all right, on the 1 hour time frame is still a bit of confusion, because I'm still watching this marker right here. This is 8,073. And I was hoping that this red candle right here that came down, that broke this point of control for the bulls. And I thought, okay, over here, it looks like this candle was way down here. And thought, okay, it looks like this thing is going to start breaking down. But really what happened is it stopped out the long positions from right here in this wick, and then just shot back up, okay? And this is essentially what I mean about the choppiness, is this is really just a game of liquidity. There's really nothing happening right now in terms of a direction being established. What's really happening is the algorithms are essentially trained to go hunt for liquidity in both directions and collect as much of the asset, and that's exactly what you're seeing right now. So catching this market and being able to trade in this chop is going to be incredibly hard. But what happens is, it becomes a little bit easier when you start zooming out on, say, the 4 hour time frame or even the daily. Okay, so let's look at the 4 hour first. So on the 4 hour, what we see right now is something like this. Okay, so we've seen a couple candles come down. We're now seeing a bit of a rounding behavior right here. So it's very possible that we kind of round here and then push back up towards this key resistance area around $8,200. All right. And that is also visible if you start looking at that 8,200 resistance area by looking at this daily time frame, okay? Now, if you look at this marker right here, I put it at 8150 because that is really the close of this daily candle right here, okay? This was that last, essentially, the daily bullish candle before we saw this big wick to the upside and this big bearish candle. So I'm saying that, okay, this is really the line in the sand for the bulls and the bears, okay? Whoever tries to, close above this area is winning for the day, which is that 8150 marker. And you can see every time prices get shoved back under, right, 8150, which was the close of this daily right here, okay? Bulls react and they push it above 8150 and close it there. And then bears push it under 8150 and then bulls push it above. So you can see it's just a back and forth and a back and forth. But what's really building out is a case for a pennant kind of like this. And this is your flag right there, okay, the pole, all right? So I see this pennant building out, but I'm not sure that, if this pennant is ready to break out. But the fact that, we're kind of creating this low and maybe potentially this higher low is definitely a positive sign for now, all right? So I think, for the most part, I do believe that, this thing Looks like it's panning out to a breakout to the upside. But again, nothing is confirmed just yet. And by the way, okay, in consolidations like this right here, you actually do want to see volume going down because that is an indication of consolidation when volume is going down as price is consolidating. Because what's really happening is the big volatility like this, it's getting tighter and tighter, and there's absorption happening at the top of the consolidation, meaning when there's absorption happening at the top of the consolidation, which is this top right here, that means that the bulls are pressing as much as they can against the resistance right here. And eventually, this could lead to a breakout. Okay, but I can't say that with certainty that we can't go down first and then up, because again, due to the volatility of this market and just massive liquidity hunting everywhere, I have no idea if we're going to get a quick spike down like $200 and then push back up. Okay, so right now I'm fairly just remaining flat. I'm taking positions here and there wherever I can to take quick scalp trades. But even for me, I mean, this market is just really brutal. It's really hard to trade right now. You might get lucky here and there, but it's okay to just wait for the 4-hour and the daily to pan out and see what it's trying to give us. All right. This is another little chart that I had made up on the 30-minute time frame. Notice, on this parallel channel right here, and this is the same thing as this trend line. Okay, but the parallel channel helps us give us a better look of exactly where price is in context of the channel. And notice price actually keeps hovering right at the top of the channel, but it has not been able to get past it. Okay, so this is a clear indication that there is some decent type of absorption happening up at the top of the channel, but really not enough for a breakout to the upside. Okay, clearly the bears are defending $8,200 area with all their might. All right, so it remains to be seen, if they're strong enough to hold it, or if the bulls are just going to rip through everything and head towards $8,400, $8,500. Okay. Let's see here. And as I mentioned before, the CME volume, by the way, folks, I mean, it is by far the highest right here. As you can see, the last Friday that this closed, look at the volume anywhere close by. Okay. This goes back all the way till June. Look at the height of the volume right here versus anything over here. I mean, we're not even close to anything over here, right? So the fact that this kind of happened right here on the CME futures, and even higher than this China pump in October when we went from $7,400 to $10,500, the fact that this volume is higher, to me, gives me a slight indication in a bullish posture, at least right now. Okay. But again, I mean, it's so hard to try to figure out what this market is trying to give us right now. Okay. But anyway, I will let my Advantage community members know exactly what I'm doing. You can see right here again, in the Advantage side, we are providing a 50% discount. Okay. So for first-time members, if you're interested in these kinds of videos, multiple, Bitcoin analyses through the day, live Zoom sessions, multiple updates through the day, as well as, these leverage trading channels where we put out trade setups. And also more importantly, we just have a constant communication flow in our Trader Talk, which is our Advantage side chat. So if you guys want to have that kind of group, okay, come join Cryptosomniac Advantage. There's a Discord link below in the YouTube description, or you can come message me right here when you join the Discord community, or you can, you can just stay on the free side. All right, that is it. Thank you so much for joining, and keep your stops tight.